know how many people really want to play the saxophone but don't? Or how many people used to play in high school, put the instrument down, but now really wish that they were still playing? A lot. But there's also tons of people who have started playing the saxophone later in life. I know this because I get messages like this one every single day. One of my students, Ken, wrote this. Hello from New Jersey. I'll be 69 very soon and consider myself a beginner in music. In the 1980s, I tried learning to play the sax, but after several years of self-teaching and lessons from a couple of instructors, I wasn't progressing, and I never felt I knew anything about making music. So I chalked it up to lack of talent, and the horn went into the closet for 30 years. 6 months ago, I stumbled upon Jay's YouTube videos and wondered, why didn't anyone tell me stuff like this years ago? Maybe I can learn to play after all. So I joined the site, and here I am, chugging through the courses. I wish I'd had instruction like this 35 years ago. Okay, I'm glad to have you on board, Ken, and I'm glad you've picked up the saxophone. For those of you watching, if that story sounds at all, anything at all like you, keep watching, because I'm going to tell you exactly the thing you want to hear and how to get started or restarted playing the saxophone. Jay Metcalf here with another BetterSax video. If you are not already subscribed to the channel, let's get that taken care of right now. If you're going to be learning the saxophone for the first time or getting back into playing the saxophone, you're going to want to watch each and every video that I post here every Tuesday. Also, if you're getting started or restarted and you need an instrument, I'm giving another one away this week. This is the laid alto saxophone that was in my video that went sort of viral. So if you do win the contest, you can tell your friends that your saxophone has been played for millions of people. Click the first link in the description below for more details about the contest. But before you do anything, make sure you click the thumbs up button, because if I get 2,000 likes on this video, I'll give away another saxophone. Am I too old to play the saxophone? People ask me that question all the time. I think the answer is pretty obvious, though. If you can breathe and move your fingers, there's not too much holding you back. I think people, maybe you yourself watching this, ask themselves that question, not because they don't think they're physically able to, but it's more because they don't think they'll be any good, or they don't think they'll stick with it. So if that's you, I've got really good news for you. Nobody sounds good in the beginning. Everybody pretty much sounds the same when they first start playing the saxophone. Those that practice a lot regularly over time will sound better and better, though. I can't speak from personal experience because I started playing the saxophone when I was 10 and I haven't stopped since. But I can share with you some messages and forum posts from some of my students on the BetterSax members website, the majority of whom are grown men and women with a certain amount of life experience, let's say. I think hearing from others who are in the exact same situation as yourself can be extremely encouraging and helpful. So please share your story in the comments section below. If you're someone who's recently come back to music or just getting started or just thinking about it. I've been wanting to make this video for quite a while. So I have to thank Frank, who started a forum discussion in the members area of the BetterSax website, for getting the ball rolling on this. Frank wrote, "It does seem that there is a high percentage of seniors here, old people like me, I am 70, learning or relearning to play the sax. It would be interesting to have a discussion on topics unique to being a senior and learning to play the saxophone. I am certain there are things both good and bad about it. It would be interesting to see Jay make a video on this topic. For me, being retired, I have time to study now that I did not have 52 years ago when I stopped playing to join the Marines, or for that 52 years while I was working to support my family. Now, empty nest and all my time is mine. I am focusing on learning woodworking, cello, and saxophone and loving it." Okay, so that's a very good point, Frank. If you are retired, you probably now have a lot more free time. If you're lucky, you probably have the funds to be able to buy yourself an instrument, pay for music lessons, things like that. And, you don't have your kids and family around all day kind of getting in the way of you doing your hobbies. Dennis added, I've just turned 70 and have started on alto sax. I'm pleased to see I am not the only one of our age group here. Apart from that, I think older people may be better at understanding how to learn and can relate to the pedagogical approaches in Jay's courses. When I was younger, I was too impatient to practice properly. Another good point. If we only knew then what we know now, right? As I get older, my capacity for patience increases and I get more and more out of my practice time. Warren added this, I shattered my adult learning fantasies first on guitar and then piano. So when I got the sax bug, I was realistic, and while I can't help but be frustrated at times, I'm also astonished at my progress and my current level of ability and my solid plan to steadily progress. Nearing or at retirement age folks who have had a lifetime of advanced training in various fields and success in professions and activities may expect once they seriously commence music learning, they will make rapid progress. After all, look at those kids tearing it up. How hard can it be? Hardest thing I've ever done. I'm both humbled and pleased to say. Adult learners may have resource advantages such as time, funds for equipment, and a comfortable practice space, and they may possess mature, strong motivation and be able to discover and implement great personal habits in music learning and practicing. And I think we all know that a lifetime of learning makes a good learner, and ongoing learning keeps the mind supple and quick. Music is the mind at play. What a gift to yourself to take it up. I'm going to have you guys write more of my content from now on because I certainly couldn't have said it better myself. This is from Kevin. I turned 61 this year and pretty much started taking my sax playing seriously in the spring. That said, I am no stranger to being a musician, having started and played the trumpet for 9 years from the 4th grade. When I picked up the sax for the first time, it didn't take much for it to be intuitive to me, and so I self-taught, but didn't really have that much time to spend with it due to career obligations. Fast forward to now, and I have made phenomenal strides in basics, tone, technique, embouchure, and playing stamina, sometimes going for 3 hours straight. A lot of my fast progress has been due to 1, my musical ability since a young age, and 2, Jay's content is very well structured for a more population of sax players. Thanks, Kevin. When I started teaching private saxophone lessons, it was mostly for young kids, kids that will go to school and play in the band. But I also had some adult learners mixed in there. In their lessons, I noticed right away that using the same materials that were designed for kids was kind of boring, uninspiring, and a big turnoff for these adult learners. So I started teaching them the way I would want to learn. But there wasn't really any method books out there designed for adult learners. That was a big part of why I created my courses and who I created them for specifically. Incidentally, I also started teaching my younger students in the same exact way, and the results were fantastic. Motivated young students really enjoy learning in a more sophisticated way, and they respond really well. Gene writes, I turned 66 in October, and I'm having the time of my life playing in a rock band. We get together and practice every Thursday night and play out once or twice a month. My only regret is not picking up an instrument when I was younger, but I didn't have the time or the money. And I really love this comment from Joel. I have noticed that being an older learner is a curiosity. The few times I've played outside of the house, I've gotten lots of questions about my age, how long I've been playing, what made me want to start. From there, some people will lament saying they always wanted to play this or that. My response is, there has never been a better and more opportunistic time in all of human history to try. If you're watching this right now, you know what he means. YouTube has eliminated so many of the convenient excuses so many people have been making. Go take advantage of it. Gary added this: turned 66 this year, and finding these courses online a year and a half ago gave me the motivation to carve out an hour a day to practice with a clear understanding of what my practice needs to consist of. This has made my weekly improvisation in my church's worship band so much smoother and more confident. I'm very happy to hear all that, Gary, but for all the credit that my students give to me, I don't really accept any of it. You know, you're the one that clicked on a YouTube video because you wanted to learn more about playing the saxophone. You're the one that enrolled in the course, went through the lessons, practiced. You're the one that created the opportunity for yourself to play in your community band or your church band. You did all those things, not me. I'm thrilled that all of this has worked out. I made some courses designed for adults who wanted to learn how to play the music they listen to, not kids songs and not necessarily academic jazz or classical music. Now there are thousands of students enrolled in BetterSax courses. And if you're not yet one of those, but you're interested, I invite you to start with one of my 2 free courses. The first is a beginner/refresher course, which is the perfect starting place, but it's also exactly what you need if you're coming back to the instrument after a long break. The other free course is my Play Sax by Ear crash course, which is basically an introduction to my method and teaching style, so you can get an idea if it's a good fit for you. I've linked everything in the description below. Remember, at 2,000 likes, I'm giving away another saxophone. If you're on Instagram, be sure to follow BetterSax over there, just like Facebook used to be for the kids. Now it's for everyone. Instagram, same sort of thing. And don't just go on Instagram to follow me. There are so many great saxophone players over there posting clips of them playing and things to learn every day. So go take advantage of that. Thanks for watching and see you soon.